Yo, welcome back to another video, y'all. I'm gonna be reading from my book. We'll maybe start this into a series, but let's get this one started. This is Willow, the series, part 1. Let's get into it. Chapter 1. Um, one second, y'all. Oh man, that was chapter 2. I was just reading. Chapter 1 is a lie. It's a lie. I got it on my computer. I'm okay. I'm gonna read it right now. Um, so here we go. It said, Chapter 1, Arrival. The sun warmed Willow Blake's face as she stepped out of the cab, her sneakers crunching against the gravel driveway of her new college. A fresh breeze carried the scent of freshly cut grass and blooming flowers, and the chatter of students filled the air. She closed her eyes momentarily, letting the promise of a new start settle over her. Smells like fresh start and overpriced coffee, she quipped, glancing at Gia. Her girlfriend rolled her eyes, tugging her suitcase out of the trunk. You got jokes already? We haven't even unpacked. Willow grinned, looping her sketchbook under one arm and grabbing her duffel bag. It's called Charm, babe. Get used to it. The campus spread out before them like a postcard. Sprawling lawns, towering trees, in the midst of old brick buildings and modern glass architecture. As they walked toward the dorms, a bulletin board caught Willow's eye, plastered with colorful flyers. One in particular stood out: Art Showcase, Find Your Vision. Gia followed her gaze, her lips quirking into a knowing smile. Already scouting your next masterpiece? Always, Willow replied, brushing her fingers over the edge of the flyer before tucking it into her bag. Chapter 2, Roommates and Rivals. Their dorm room was cozy. It felt like a cluttered poster of indie bands and abstract art covered the walls, and the faint scent of lavender lingered the air. A girl sat cross-legged on one of the beds, strumming a guitar with casual expertise. 1 second, let me plug this in my mouse so I can just put it down. Okay, okay. Roomie, she exclaimed, looking up with a wide grin. Sweet. I'm Layla, your official guide to all things awesome on campus. Willow laughed, dropping her bag onto the bed. Nice to meet you. I'm Willow, and this is Gia. Layla's grin widened. Cool. Guitar lessons are free, by the way, but only if you don't mind me stealing your snacks. Gia raised an eyebrow. Great, a musician and a thief. They all laughed, the tension of the first day melting away as Willow began. Unpacking her art supplies, setting her sketchbook and pencils on the desk like talismans. Chapter 3, Clash of the Titans. Later that day, Willow found herself in a crowded lecture hall for her first class, Art in Action. The room buzzed with energy, students chatting and flipping through notebooks. At the front, a guy with a clipboard and perfectly styled hair was arranging papers like a general preparing for battle. All right, everyone, he called out, clapping his hands. Welcome to Art in Action, where creativity meets precision. And yes, there will be rules. Willow smirked, sliding into a seat by the window. Her sketchbook was already open, her pencil moving in quick, fluid strokes. And that, a voice drawled from the front, is Jacelyn, the TA slash perfectionist. Willow glanced up, her eyes landing on the speaker. A girl leaning against a desk with a sharp smile and sharper eyes. She exuded confidence, her arms crossed as she looked over the room like she owned it. Jason shot her a withering look. Thank you, Alexia, for that unnecessary commentary. Alexia smirked. Just doing my civic duty. Jason ignored her and launched into introductions. When it was Willow's turn, she stood confidently. Willow Blake, art major. Nature inspires me. Its colors, its chaos, its calm, everything about it. Alexia raised an eyebrow. Nature, huh? Guessing you're aiming for cliche points. The room quiet, tension crackling like static. Willow met Alexia's gaze, unfazed. And you're aiming for petty ones. She shot back, her tone light but firm. Laughter rippled through the room, and even Jason had a smile. Alexia's smirk faltered, her eyes narrowing. Willow returned to her seat, already scribbling her sketchbook again, her heart beating a little faster. Chapter 4 Kindred Spirits. The greenhouse was a welcome escape after class. Willow wandered through rows of vibrant plants, the air thick with the scent of soil and greenery. She settled on a bench, sketchbook in hand, her pencil tracing the outline of a twisting vine. New face alert. Willow looked up to see a barefoot girl with a watering can, her curly hair tied back in a loose bun. She radiated energy, her smile warm and disarming. What brings you to my little jungle? The girl asked, setting the can down. Willow smiled, looking for inspiration. Found it. The girl grinned, sitting on the edge of the bench. Good answer. I'm Kalani, resident plant whisperer and eco warrior. Willow, aspiring artist. Kalani leaned closer, her eyes bright. We're having an eco circle tonight. You should come. Good vibes, great people, and maybe a little dirt under your nails. Willow chuckled. Sounds tempting. Don't think too hard, Kalani said, winking as she stood. Nature's not waiting for everyone. Chapter 5 Sparks of Conflict. That evening, Willow sat across legged on the dorm room floor. Sorting through her pencils, Gia leans against the bed, scrolling through her phone. How was your day? Gia asked, glancing up. Willow tore the pencil between her fingers. Met some interesting people. A perfectionist, a plant whisperer, and a professional pain in the ass. Gia laughed. Sounds like a good mix. Think you'll survive? Willow smirked, leaning back against the wall. Survive? Babe, I'm just getting started. Outside, the campus hummed with life. Somewhere in the distance, music played and the stars began to peek through the twilight. For Willow, this was just the beginning. Chapter 6 The night air was cool as Willow made her way to the eco circle. Kalani had given her directions earlier, and now she followed the glow of candles. Arranged in a circle near the campus greenhouse, students sat on blankets and cushions, chatting softly as they passed around small saplings in pots. Willow hesitated at the edge of the gathering, her sketchbook tucked under her arm. Kalani spotted her immediately and waved, her face lighting up. "You made it," Kalani called, bounding over with her usual energy. "Welcome to the Circle of Hope, or as I like to call it, a dirt party." Willow laughed, glad to see I'm not overdressed. Kalani handed her a small spade and gestured to any empty cushion. "Find a spot, dig some soil, plant a dream." Willow knelt beside a quiet girl with a nose ring who was carefully patting dirt around a sapling. As Willow worked, the soft murmur of conversation filled the air. "This is what I needed," Willow admitted, glancing up at the stars. "It's peaceful." Kalani sat cross-legged nearby, tossing a pebble between her hands. "Nature has a way of reminding you what matters. Chaos and calm, all rolled into one. Kinda like life, right?" Before Willow could reply, a sharp voice cut through the tranquility. "Well, isn't that cozy?" Willow turned to see Alexia standing at the edge of the circle. Arms crossed, her tone was dripping with sarcasm, and her gaze zeroed in on Willow. "Saving the planet one shrub at a time. How noble." The quiet girl beside Willow shifted uncomfortably, and Kalani's eyes narrowed. "Alexia," Kalani said evenly, "unless you're here to plant something, maybe you should find somewhere else to be." Alexia smirked. "Relax, I'm just observing. It's not every day you see such dedication to dirt." Willow's grip tightened on the spade, but she forced herself to stay calm. She met Alexia's gaze with a steady look. "Careful," Willow said slightly. "You might trip over all that sarcasm." A ripple of quiet laughter spread through the circle. Alexia's smirk faltered just for a moment before she turned on her heel and walked away. Kalani leaned toward Willow, her grin returning. "You got guts. I like that." Willow smiled, brushing her hands off her jeans. "What can I say? I got a soft spot for dirt and underdogs." Chapter 7. Late Night Reflections. In her dorm room, Willow sprawled across her bed, her sketchbook in front of her. The page was filled with swirling lines and shapes. A tree branching out into stars, its root twisting into the ground like vines. Layla burst into the room, guitar slung over her shoulder. "I heard about your little showdown at the Eco Circle. You got the Alexia seal of disapproval already. Impressive." Will laughed. "She doesn't seem like the type to hand out compliments." "She's not," Layla said, flopping onto her bed. "But if she's paying attention to you, it means she sees you as a threat. Welcome to the club." Gia glanced up from her laptop, a curious look in her eyes. "What's her deal anyway?" "Alexia," Layla stretched out, propping her feet on the wall. "She's got a chip on her shoulder the size of this campus. A, a perfectionist with a superiority complex. Don't take it personally. Willow closed her sketchbook, her mind racing with ideas for the next drawing. Oh, it's not personal, it's a challenge, and I never back down from a challenge. Gia shook her head with a smile. Here we go. Willow grinned, leaning back against her pillows. The day had been long, full of introductions, challenges, and surprises, but she felt something stirring in her, a quiet certainty that she was exactly where she needed to be. Thank y'all for listening. That's Willow